Hello everyone. So I welcome you again. So today we are going to learn more in Google Cloud Platform. So basically in this we are going to learn the cloud storage and cloud SQL in the Google, and we are also going to learn how to integrate the cloud storage with cloud SQL. So the objective of this video, basically we are going to create one cloud storage bucket, and then we place one image into it, and then we will create one instance of cloud SQL, and we will configure this instance, and then we are going to connect this cloud SQL instance from the web server, and also we will going to the image that we have kept in our storage bucket. We're going to access that from our web page. So basically we are going to create one cloud storage bucket and place one image into it, and then we are going to configure an application running in cloud compute engine to use the database uh, that is being managed by the cloud SQL, and we are then going to configure uh, the PHP web server onto it. Okay, so to make the thing simpler, I have already uh, kept a note of all the commands that we are going to use. So I have just made a kind of a small note of all the commands. So in order to avoid typing all the commands, so I just copy and paste it. And also I'm keeping all this command in the description. So if you are like doing this lab, you can just take it from there, and it'll be easy for you. Okay, so let's start. So you can see that some of the command that I have already prepared, which will be going to be used in this lab. So for example, we are going to create one virtual machine, and then we are going to install Apache into it. So we need to update the Apache, we have to install the Apache, and then we have to, restart number of times. So I've just copied, just noted all the commands, and we can just copy and paste it from there. For example, during the lab, we need to get the image from a public platform. So we have already used a command that is to be executed on. So how to get the image from it, and then the same image we are going to keep it in our cloud storage bucket. So all these command you can see which are to be used. I have already made this file here. So I can just copy and paste it into our lab exercise. It will be easy for you. And this will be also available to you that you can be use when you are doing your work. So similarly, all the command which will be used in this lab, I have just identified and already made a ready list. Okay, so let's see that how it can be used in our Google Cloud platform. This is my account which I have created for doing this practice. Okay, so I believe that you already have a Google account, so you can just if you are a first time user for Google Cloud, then you will be getting some credit, and you can use that credit to do all the Google practice. So means first we are going to install the virtual machine, and then we are going to have an Apache onto it. We have a PHP onto it. Okay, so let's see how it will be done. So we'll go to the you can go here, and you can look for the virtual machine that can be found in the compute engine. You can see and go for VM instance, and then you are going to create instance here. So you can click on create instance, and you can type any name here. So let's say using it for hosting it. So I am going to write blog host. You can just write any name, whatever you want. This is the name which I have chosen to write, and then I'm going to select the region and zone. So you can select uh, okay, I have chosen just North Virginia region. I'm keeping it default, and I have chosen this zone 4A. Okay, and then most of the thing we are keeping default here, because already we know that how to create a virtual machine. Already in our previous session we have discussed in detail that what are the different configuration which is required to provision this virtual machine. So we are at this point of time, we are not going into much of the details that what are the different component that we need to do while creating a virtual machine. We are just keeping the basic things, or you can say the default things. So here you can see this is a blog host. This is 10 GB license type free. Image is this GNU Linux 12. You can, if you want to change, you can go it from here, and whatever you want, you can. So if you want to, let's say, if I want to make some change, I can make, let's say, this one, okay, and then I will just make it my, this is selection. So whatever the changes you are going to make, it is also reflecting here. Firewall, yes, we are going to you know use a browser to access our database and virtual machine. So we will just uh, enable this, and the remaining thing we will keep here. Okay, one thing is after creating the virtual machine, and then you can connect to the SSH already we know, and then you can just update all the configuration, and then you can install the Apache server. At the top of it, you can also do the installation of PHP. This you can do, or by default, if you want that at the time of creation of your virtual machine, these things will be installed. That can also be done. We can go to advanced option, and we can already write the commands there which are going to do all the job for us. So you can go here and you can go for management, and then you can go for automation, and here you can write that basic command that is going to install Apache and PHP. So I already have prepared a list that the command which I am going to use, so I am going to use this. So if we use this, then there is no need to, do all the installation of these Apache and PHP later when our machine is created. So we'll go back, and I'm going to write this here. So you can see here, this is sudo apt-get update command that we have been using frequently in our previous exercise. And then we are installing Apache 2 PHP, and then we are restarting this. Okay, so I think this is okay to you. And then we are going to just have a look at what are the default things that already be given to us. Okay, okay, everything is okay. And then we will going to click on create. So our virtual machine is now created. Once it is done, we need to make a note of the private and public IP which is been assigned to our machine, because this will be used. So better if we can make a copy of it, because it need to be used some few times when we are going to integrate or connect this machine with our other component that we are going to use in our exercise. It will take some time to get it configured. So by the time, if you want, okay, it is done. So you can see this is the internal IP, and this is the external IP. You can see private and public IP is given to us. So we can just make a note of it. This is the node file we have created. This is your private IP, and similarly we can go and make a note of this public IP as well. This is the IP of our uh, virtual machine that we have created. Okay, so we are done with our virtual machine. Now we need to create a cloud storage bucket, and this we are going to create using a command line. So here we will use a Cloud Shell for running all these command. Okay, so let's go to Cloud Shell. Okay, we'll click on continue, and let us set some variable. So you can either go for US or European Union or Asia. Let's say I'm going to set the location variable as export uh, location equals to Asia. Okay, this is done. Then we will also so we have a project ID assigned to us. So we are going to actually in this we have to create one bucket, and bucket needs to be given a unique name. So in this case, what we are going to create a bucket, and the bucket name we are assigning as a project ID, because project ID name is also a unique one. So we are going to create a bucket, and the bucket will be created in the same location where we have created our other components. So we are going to create the bucket, and then also we assign the bucket the same name that we have given to the project ID. So for doing this, we can use the command. So you can see here, we are going to gcloud storage bucket we are going to create, and this is the location where we want to create, and then this is what we are going to assign the name to the bucket the same as a project ID. Okay, so I'll just copy this command and I will run it here. Okay, so we'll authorize this. Okay, so this is done, and then we have to get one image, and then this image can be retrieved from a publicly accessible cloud storage which is already there in place with the Google. So we can use this command to fetch the image. This is the first thing, that we have to fetch an image from publicly accessible cloud storage, and then after fetching this image, we are going to keep this image in our bucket. So this command we can use for fetching the image, and this command we can use for keeping the image in our bucket that we have created. So let us use this, and we will paste it here, and this is done. Image has been fetched. Now this image which we have fetched and bring it to our directory, now we are going to keep this in our bucket. So we'll go here, and then we will run this command, and this command, you can see they are very self-explanatory, and I believe that you are already aware about these commands. Okay, let us see again what is the problem here. Let us clear the screen and fetch it again, the image, and then we will going to copy in our bucket. Okay. Okay, then you will go, and then okay, it is working, and it is copying the things into a bucket. This is done, and what is next? So we are done with keeping the image into a bucket. Then what next? Let's see. Then we have to modify the access control list, so that the object we have just created, it is readable by everyone. So we have to update the this access control list. by using the this GS utility. So we'll change the permission to all users to the read permission. So to do this, we can change the ACL, the permission to permission all users to read permission on this object. Okay, so let us copy this. Okay, so permission has been updated. It says updated the access control list on this particular object, and then uh, we are done with this, and now we will create uh, the SQL instance. So we are done with the storage. We are done with the virtual machine. Now we will create one cloud SQL instance. So for this, we will go here, and then we have to select this SQL, and then we will go and click on create instance. And so we are provided with multiple database engine. We have MySQL, PostgreSQL, and SQL Server. So we'll be going to work with MySQL. So we'll select this MySQL, and then we will write here the identity. You can give any name. Let us give here blockdb. This is the database that we are going to make. This is MySQL database. Okay, so let us do like this. BlockDB is the name that we are given, and then we have to give some password here. Okay, and what else? This is the version 8.0 we are using, and let us use this enterprise. Enterprise is good for us, and then we can uh, use it for production, for development, for sandbox. Okay, this will be a cheaper. We'll go for sandbox option. Availability, we will use the same region that we have used, North Virginia. That is, I think, US Central 4. This is what we have used. So we'll keep this in the same region for the better accessibility. And zonal availability is single zone. Multiple zone is having a high reliability, like having a heavy fault tolerance, high fault tolerance. But for this exercise, we want to keep the charges minimum. So we will select single zone. And then what else? We will be, I think we are done with this, and you can have a look here what is provided to us. So we have Enterprise, MySQL 8, 2 virtual CPU, 8 GB, and other things you can read from here. And then you can click on Create Instance. It will take some time to get it configured for us. And once it is done, so you can see here that it is creating a block DB. This is MySQL instance that we have created. It will take some time. We have to wait it for it. And once it is done, we have to uh, keep a note of its IP that is assigned to it, because this IP will be used when we want to connect it. So you can see now it is showing here it is created. So earlier it was showing creating the block DB. This is the instance that we are creating. So it is now done. You can click on it, and you can see that uh, we are having this block DB instance ready with us, and you can connect to this instance using this public IP address. Let us copy this and keep it safe. So this is the ID, this is the IP for the this SQL instance, and this is the IP for our virtual machine. Okay, then what's next? So we are done with this, and then we are going to uh, create one user into it. So this is our database, and we will be going to create one user. We will assign user name to it. Okay, because when we are going to connect this database uh, remotely, then we have to pass this username and the password. Okay, so we will going to users, so you can look into it. This is users given here, and then you can add one user account and give name, which is the one that we are actually. So we are using blog keyword we are using here. So we have given blog db to our database, and let's say for user we will give blog db user, and then we have to give password also here. It's good to give the password, though it's optional, but it's always good to give the password. But the password, whatever we are keeping here, we need to keep a note of it, because when we are going to connect it remotely, so we these two things we have to provide the username and the password, and then we will just keeping all the things default and click on add. So this user has been added. Okay, so now what uh, next? Then we'll create the connection. So connection, in the connection we have to set the network basically. So we'll go to connections, which is here at the left hand side, and then in the connection we will find the network. So we have to add a network which will make us connected with our database. So in the connection we need to this is network here. So you can look to this networking, and then you can click to add a network here. So here uh, you can give some name. Let's say this is a kind of mm, this is a web front end of it. Let's say, so you can give any name whatever you want, and we have to assign the IP address here. So we have to give the IP that we have used for our virtual machine. So we will be looking for this IP. This is the public IP of virtual machine, and then we are going to write it here, and we have to write in a Cedar format. So let's say this is prefix 32 here, and this is done. Okay, so and then we can click on save. Okay, so far so good. We are done with our SQL instance. We have created our database. We have created our user. We have set the network that connects our virtual machine to this database. Okay, then we can now just do some more configuration in our virtual machine that can basically use this Cloud SQL. So we will go to the virtual machine instances, and let's see what are the configuration which is remaining here to make this virtual machine access to our database. So go to a virtual machine, and then we uh, try to connect. So first we connect a virtual machine, and this we can connect using SSH. So SSH is to be used for connecting a virtual machine. Okay, so we have already installed here Apache server and a PHP. So let us change our we will go to the default directory where the you know uh, basic page has been created, means the index page of our web server has been kept in the default root, that is where www.html. So we'll change the directory. So we'll write here cd slash var www html. This is the default path. Okay, so done. Now we are going to create our default page. So we will use the editor with the command nano, and we are going to make our index page index dot php. PHP is already been installed in our machine. So nano index.php, it will going to open our index page. It's better to write sudo to get admin permissions. Sudo nano index.php. Okay, so it will allow us to create our index page. So let us uh, write some message here. Let's say welcome message or some welcome to my excellent blog or whatever you want to write. And there we have to provide the details of connecting to our this database, and then we have to provide our username and the password. So already I have created this, as I said, this default thing I have created. This all the commands I have already prepared. So this and this, if you really go through it, you will find it is all self-explanatory. Very basic commands we are using here. So this is a very basic HTML tag has written, which says that this is my excellent blog, and then we are providing the details of the user and the password to connect. So initially, well, let's say this is something which we have to write as per our connection. If I keep it like this, then it is not going to work. So let us check with it. So this is the file, or you can say the index page, which is ready with us. And let us save this. So we will save this with Control O, and we'll press enter. Okay, and then Control X is for exit. Now we can just refresh our things. We'll write sudo service restart Apache 2. It should be written like this: sudo service Apache 2 restart. This is the right way of writing. Apache 2 restart. I think this is the right way of writing. Yeah, this is correct way of writing. So now it is done. Now what we can do is we can go to the browser, and from the browser we are going to we'll try to access it. So uh, we have this. This is our public IP. Okay, we'll go to the browser, and then we write here index.php. See, so we are going to access our page. So it shows that we are able to connect with our machine, and also this default page has been visible to us, but we are not able to connect to a database because the reason being we have not provided the credential properly. We need to provide the name of the database user and the password. So let us go back again and do all the fixing that we have that we missed here. So we'll go here and then we will be mm, here and then we'll be having this SSH. So we'll write here again the same thing. We'll write here sudo nano index.php. We are here and then we will be going to make changes here. Means changes means we are going to write here. So actually here we have to provide the uh, the IP of the SQL instance. This is the IP that we have copied. So let us copy here 3486 to 30. 3486 to 30 will go and write here. This is 3486 to 30 dot 37. 3486 to 3037. This is the IP, and then we have to also if the DB user has been written correctly, and then we have to write here the password. So I will write the password which is to be written here, and then we will save it and go back to. And we have done, and then we will again just uh, do restart. Okay, and again we will try that is it working this time or not. So hopefully it should work here now. So we'll go here and then we'll try to refresh, and you see that database connection succeeded because we have given in the code that if the credentials are like matched, then it should provide this message. So if you look at the code, so if it is going to fail, if it is an error is there, then it is going to give this message. Otherwise, if all the conditions are correct, it should give database connection succeeded. This is the message which we have given here. Okay, so far everything is good. We'll go back now. What is left? What we can do in this exercise? So let us recall. So far we have a virtual machine. We have our storage. We have our database. Database. We have made one user. We have make the network that can connect our database with through the virtual machine. Now what we can do is we have one image in our cloud storage. Okay, so means we have a kind of bucket there, and the bucket we have a image. Now we will try to fetch that image and display uh, on the web page using a browser. Okay, so for this, let us do some more configuration on the resources that we've already provisioned. Okay, so we can go to the cloud storage. So for this, we will go back to our here and then let us keep it down and then we will look for cloud storage. So here, go to cloud storage and then look to bucket. If you remember, we have created a bucket using a kind of this cloud shell. Means we have used a command prompt to create the bucket and then fetch one image from the public repository and keep it in the bucket. That already we have did using a command prompt. Means through the cloud shell. We can also do it like like a drag and drop. We can go with this option, and then we can upload the image from here as well. So you can just look here. This is one uh, bucket we have. Now what else we can do here? So you can see this is the bucket, and if you remember that the bucket name we have given the same as our project name. Now this we have given because we have to give a unique name. So you might have given some other name as well, but we know that the project name itself is a unique, so we have given the same name. This is done with the help of coding. So through the Cloud Shell, we just write the command and we are done with all this job. Now, what else we can do? You can see this is the bucket, and we want to see what is there in the bucket. It must be one image inside it bucket. Okay, let us click on it. Okay, this is the image that we have kept inside the bucket, and you can see this is a image, and this is the details. Okay, so we are looking for this copy URL. Okay, this actually we want. Now we just copy this. Just click on this. It will going to copy this URL, and then we can go to SSH. Okay, so we'll go back to our virtual machine. Okay, so from here we can go to virtual machine. It is a cloud compute, means it's a compute engine, virtual machine instance. And then I'm looking for the SSH that we have. This is our SSH. Okay, then let us again go to the index page. So if I want to edit the index page, I need to write sudo nano index.php. Okay, this is the index page, and in the index page we can add some more information here. Let's say here, let me, okay, here. So if I write here, if I add a new tag, image img. So actually the image which I have kept in the bucket, now I am going to uh, bring that image onto this web page. Okay, and for this what I am going to, I am adding the image tag here, and that image I am going to connect with this tag. And which image? The image which is in the bucket. So I am going to write here image, and then I write the source. So if you remember that we have gone uh, to the uh, to the bucket, and then we have went to the image, and then I have copied one URL, that is the URL of that image. Okay, so now I am going to, actually I need to paste that URL here. So instead of writing it, you can just paste it here, and you can see this is the entire path has been come. Or okay, so here I have actually copied this. Okay, this is done. So again I am going to save it and exit. Now if we go here and if we refresh it, it must show that picture here. So it shows that image source is showing to us. So let me check, something is wrong here. We will go back again here, and let us check with this file. Okay, so This is our index.php, and then let me check this command img src equal. This is the mistake which we give here. Actually, I should write not this should not be here. This should be here, right? So I think now it is done, and let us save again. Okay, then let us refresh or restart, and then we will go back here and try to refresh it, and you can see that this is the kind of image that was in the bucket, and now we are able to fetch this image through this browser. So I think we have done with our objective that we have planned. uh, so I've discussed at the start of the lab that what we are going to do. So let us just quickly conclude what we did. So we have created one bucket. In the bucket, we have put one bucket we have created with the help of Cloud Shell. We write the command to create the bucket. Bucket we have created in the same region where we are doing all the things, that is North Virginia. We have first fetch one image from public cloud storage, and that image we have put into the bucket. Then we have created one virtual machine in the same region, North Virginia region. And then we have also created one database, that is a SQL database. We have created one instance of MySQL, and then we have connected. We have created one user into that have the permission to access the database. After that, we have created a network that is allowing us to connect our virtual machine with our database. We have seen that it was working fine, and after that we add one more thing. We have fetched the image uh, from the bucket, and we have integrated that image into our page. Okay, that is a web page, and then we have tried to exit that web page through the browser, and we have seen all the things are working fine. The command that have been used to do this exercise will be there in the description box. You can go it from there, and you can just look to all the commands. The commands are self-explanatory, so you can just have a look that what is the command, and then you can just do copy and paste and get your work done. So this is all for this video. Thank you very much.